having a great time at the Overland East. Lots of equipment, lots of things that you can go out and try. Some things are going to break. Some vehicles are going to get brand new skid sliders, and some are not. They're going to bust up a door, crack a tire, do a number of things. A lot of us go out there, but we don't really anticipate those kind of things. So training in this industry is really key. And I took 2 classes, just wandering down the street here at the show, and met Mike Morrison. Mike, how you doing?
Great to meet you.
Good to see you. So Mike, Sarah, Stephen, and
Michael
are the family unit of Morrison Outdoor Adventures, and they're here teaching people things like how to reset a bead or how to flip back your trailer when it flips over. And these are the kind of things that we never anticipate. But Mike, I really want to understand, how did you start this business and where's it going? Tell us about it.
So I started doing 4-wheel drive training about 11 years ago. My mentor, a gentleman by the name of Scott Fields, started a business, URI Off-Road Training Center, and we developed a really close friendship. I'd been off-roading for a long time, but just like anybody else, I just did it, right?
Yeah.
Didn't really know the right way or the thought processes behind it. Scott Fields and I became close friends. I started working with him. 10 years ago, he pushed me to get certified through the International 4-Wheel Drive Trainers Association. So I went through that process, and it was very hard, but at the end I did pass, and that started kind of my training background. And I did it part-time for probably 4 years, working for Scott, and then I went full-time, working for a company called Overland Experts, where we did military training, commercial groups, stuff like that. And then 2.5 years ago, we were traveling, or I was traveling a lot, all across the country doing trainings for the military, and my family was always at home. So we made the decision to sell our house and move into a camper.
There you go. There you go. And I know you have not met Sarah yet, but she's the one pointing the camera at us right now. So,
yeah.
And I've watched her point the camera at you quite a bit. So
She likes to.
She does. She likes to point the camera at you.
Yeah.
Maybe less so getting in front of it, but
That's
okay.
right.
The boss can stay in the background.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're here. I noticed every time you had a class, there's a bunch of people. So typically, who comes to your classes? Are these experienced people trying to figure out something brand new or right out of the box?
Our biggest market segment that we see is beginners, but we do get experienced people coming through. Definitely lean more towards the overland crowd, not so much the trail riders, but we do get some of those as well. So it's pretty mixed. Vehicle-based, Toyotas, Land Rovers, Jeeps, you name it, even all-wheel drive vehicles like Subarus and stuff now. So it's a pretty varied group of people.
Now let's leave them with a couple of takeaways that you shared with me in the meeting. You had was it 3 Ps or something like that? What are those?
I do. So I believe in personal preservation, right? That's the number one most important thing off-road or overlanding. You want to protect yourself. You are your greatest asset, your brain, right? You're the only one that can reason and think. The second one is vehicle preservation, because your vehicle is what's going to get you from point A to point B and back to point A again. If you lose that, it affects personal preservation, because now you're walking out or you're hiking out, and it's going to take a lot longer. And the last is environmental preservation, because obviously always the opportunity to lose public land. So we want to protect the environment so that our future generations, our kids, can have access to the same things we can.
Great. So Morrison Outdoor Adventures got a website?
We do, morrisonsoutdooradventures.com. We're
Clever
also
name.
Yeah, that's right.
I love the way you came up with that.
Yeah. Actually, it was our oldest son that came up with that.
Very good.
So,
very good. So most of the stuff is in person, or do you do online training as well?
We've done a little bit of online training, and we are looking at more of that in the future, because obviously, I can't travel all over the U.S. I like to, but I can't be everywhere. So we are going to do some online training, but most of our stuff is in person, because we want hands-on. We want to develop muscle memory. We want people to actually do what we're teaching, so they feel comfortable doing it when we're not around.
Fantastic. So for our Old Man Overland friends, this is the kind of people you need to get to know. And as a part of Old Man Overland, as we open up Old Man's Wisdom, which is our training portal, folks like Mike and Sarah are going to be a part of that to help us not only create in-person events, but we're also going to start experimenting with some real good online stuff. So you can catch a lot of YouTube videos. They're great, but let's create some other things together. So I'm excited to have you join our group.
Awesome.
And I think we can learn a lot from you. So thanks for what you're doing.
Thank you.